Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic Less Known Classics. This is episode number 1533. No, 34. And Doubleshot number 14 or 28. Got two trades featuring The Punisher. Yep. First up we have The Punisher, Volume 3, King of New York Streets. Now, this, of course, is the final trade that collects Becky Cohen's, but this is not going to be a final thoughts on a run because I have not reviewed Volume 2 yet. This book is actually pretty thin. It only contained about 5 issues. Yeah, the last 5 issues of a run before Matthew Rosenberg took over. This, of course, collects issues 13 through 17 of Punisher. I'm trying to think here. Like, what volume is this one? There's like multiple volumes of Punisher. I had to think about this. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. Yeah, this actually is volume. Let's see. First was published in the 80s. Second was published in the 80s as well. Third was 90s. Fourth was the let's see, 6 was the Max run, 7 was Recommender, 8 was Greg Rucka, 9 was Emerson. This is volume 10. Yep, volume 10. Now, this one is mostly put just Punisher, just doing normal Punisher things. Yes, there's a parental advisory for the book, not for kids, which is definitely true. And mostly a Punisher going after a kid who stole one of his guns, and then like the last few issues. Now, in case you're curious though, does the Punisher have any encounters in these issues with anybody from the Marvel Universe as a whole? Not really, no. He just does his normal thing. Heck, he even drives his, basically this car with the Punch symbol on it. And he just basically just does his normal thing. Killing people. He does it throughout these issues here. He also apparently decides to have, get this, a mug that says Nelson and Murdoch. He might have stole this from the actual Murdoch office. I'm not sure exactly where he got this. But yeah, aside from that particular mug, there's nothing that says this book does take place during. Like, I think this is supposed to be the guy who's here. I think it's supposed to be the face. Let me take a look because I think this guy is the face. Let me take a look. Just let me be sure here. I thought this was 10. It's actually volume 11. Yep, it's face. I believe this actually is his return. Oh yeah, it's definitely him. And the thing with this guy is he's pretty much like the primary villain of this entire run. Yeah, he makes his return after he last appeared in issue 12. Appears in these last 2 issues, and then the Punisher just kills him off, finally. Gets rid of this original villain that Becky Cohen created for him. Yeah, he just comes back because I think Becky Cohen was wrapping up his run, and somehow he was left alive being burned, so they decided to kill him off here. And also goes to Hollywood here. But this actually is not bad per se. This is an okay end to her run. Her run basically, from what some people have told me, that this, I actually kind of like the run per se when it comes to this particular era of Punisher. But a lot of people thought this run was not that good. Now, I know Rosenberg's run, that got a lot of praise. But this was the last run for Punisher where, like, the weird thing about this run is it kind of felt like it was maybe could be part of the Max universe per se. This is also kind of done very similar to the Moon Knight series where it's set in 616, but there's no encounters with any of the Marvel superheroes. That's pretty much what this book is. It's typical Punisher stuff. Give this book roughly a 9 out of 10. The artwork in here is done by, I think it's done by a couple of different artists. You have Chris Akia, who does issue number 13. The rest of them are Matt Hardick. Alright, next up it is Marvel Knights 20th. Yep. a 6-issue miniseries celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Marvel Knights line. Now, the cover does feature a primary amount of characters who were prominent figures in the Marvel Knights line. Now, Don Nicotis is the main writer for this series, but for issues 2 through 5, he has got co-writers. For issues 2 and 5 is Matthew Rosenberg. For issue 3 is Tina Howard. And issue 4 is Vic Vitalia. Now, mostly put for Marvel Knights 20, it's anybody who was involved with the Marvel Knights line. Daredevil was the most obvious one, along with the Punisher, and excuse me, you probably think, okay, what about Elektra and Black Panther? Black Panther and Daredevil were two characters that worked out well under the Marvel Knights line. And, well, they had really good success. Of course, Black Panther was written by Christopher Priest. Daredevil was originally written by, at that point, by Kevin Smith. And then, of course, Bendis took over issue 9. Punisher is there because he also has success in the Marvel Knights line. Why is Elektra there? Because he's associated with Daredevil. Kingpin is there because he was also primarily part of this line. We also appearance by the Hulk. Yes, the Hulk of all people appears in this miniseries. And the Hulk is the most strange one. You're probably thinking, wait, what was he associated with the Marvel Knights line? Yes, but not at the very beginning. Oddly enough, there's no appearance by Spider-Man or... Let's see. Like there was mention you could have had Daredevil appear in the series. No, Daredevil. Black Widow, but that went nowhere. Let's say they had Scarlet Witch pop up in here. Now, who was actually responsible? Now, apparently this is an alternate reality. Everybody forgets who they are until they start slicing the clothing. Like in the case of Daredevil, apparently he kept his costume under his clothes, and apparently after his outfit got sliced up, he also was at the grave Karen Page. And it's, oh yeah, I'm Daredevil, just by tearing my costume. And then Punisher's costume got his police. He was a police officer here, just like he is in the Ultimate Universe, where he rips off it by Elektra, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's the Punisher." And of course, Black Panther, you only know it's him because of his necklace he wears. Elektra because of her scars, though I think it's more than one scar she has on her abdomen. Yeah, this miniseries is just pure fun. If you love the Marvel Knights line, you would love this. It's basically a love letter to that particular series. I'm trying to think. Well, there was also suggestion they could have had other characters here, like Steve Rogers, but that was crossed the list. It's almost like they had to use certain characters. I get the reason why Daredevil, Punisher, and Black Panther, because these three had prominent runs on the Marvel Knights. Elektra, probably because she appeared in the Daredevil runs. That's why she's here. Same thing with the Kingpin. But what about Doctor Doom? Yeah, he's actually responsible for this. Why is he here? Like, is he, like, what was he actually primarily featured in Marvel Knights line? No, he wasn't. They just basically threw him in because he's their villain. And we have this really cool fight between the Kingpin and Doctor Doom, which ends with Doctor Doom being thrown off a building. Yep, Doctor Doom getting killed by the Kingpin. It's kind of hilarious because, well, Doctor Doom, like, I like that, like, I'm thinking of, like, wait, could this be a callback to Acts of Vengeance where Doctor Doom basically chastised the fact that he was associating himself with a common criminal like the Kingpin? Yeah, this is probably, I think maybe Don Nicolas remembered Acts of Vengeance, so basically it's like, this is payback for you chastising me during the Acts of Vengeance stuff. So he throws him out of the building and declares himself new king. And apparently this is also some kind of like danger room simulation. I thought that was kind of like, the other thing is a bit odd per se, but, well, the guy did it somehow. This book is great. Fantastic. Now, the artwork in here is done by mostly... You have Trevor Foreman does issue number 1. You have the second issue done by Nico Hurkacz. You have Damon Carrillo does issue 3. Joshua Carrera does issue 4. And the final issue is done by Kim Gento and Trevor Foreman. Absolute great book. Get this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Yep. And with this, I have pretty much reviewed, like in the case of, well, for in the case of both Don Nicolas and Matthew Rosenberg, a good chunk of the stuff they've actually published from Marvel. But you're probably thinking, okay, since I got this done for Matthew Rosenberg, I keep bringing this up. Like, what else is there left to do for Matthew Rosenberg for Marvel? You might ask. I mean, the big chunk book basically I got done was Punisher. That was his longest book. Yep. And you're probably thinking, what else is there left to do? You might ask. Well, I've covered a lot of his stuff he did for Marvel. But what is there left to do? I'm looking at his Wikipedia page right now. Like, what else is left to do for him? Well, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Annihilation Scourge, and King in Black, Thunderbolts, and one issue of Wolverine Red, White, and Black, White, and Blood. So a few things, not very much, but thanks going through this particular miniseries, Marvel Knights 20. That's another thing you could scratch the list for, well, Matthew Rosenberg. Okay. But what about Donny Coates? Well, so I haven't finished up his run for Venom and, of course, King Black. Like, what else is there left to do for him? Well, the Secret Wars Battle World. That's one thing. Is run for Thanos, obviously. So just Secret Wars Battle World, Thanos, Cosmic Ghost Rider. So him, and of course, well, the Black, White, and Blood for Wolverine Carnage. And that's it, just a few things here and there. So, still not much stuff left to go for Donny Coates. Like, him, like in the case of Matthew Rosenberg, covered almost everything for the guy. Yep. Though, I should point out that Donny Coates has been regularly writing for Marvel since, I think, like 2017, I think it is. I mean, the first regular book he worked on. Well, he did work on an issue of Nick Spencer, but the first regular official book he worked on was Doctor Strange and Thanos, which both ended after a brief period of time. And he moved to Venom and did some mini-series here and there. And then he did Guardians of the Galaxy. Now he's currently doing, well, he just wrapped up his one for Venom. And right now he's just doing Thor. He's going to be doing Hulk soon. But yeah. So not much to say about these two books. Well, first one's okay. Marvel Knights 20 is fantastic. Yep. So yeah, that's it for particular view. Stay tuned for next view. This will be 2 more books, but I'll be up soon, okay? Next video. Bye.